Hello, my name is Katie Paschall. I'm a research scientist at Child Trends in the Early Childhood Development Department, and I received my PhD from the University of Arizona in Family Studies and Human Development in 2016. Between my time at the University of Arizona and joining Child Trends, I did a postdoc for a year at UT Austin. So just to show you, you can start to move through the academic pipeline and decide to make a change whenever you want to. So at my job, I spend 100% of my time conducting research. I do both research and evaluation work. As a research scientist, I work on every part of the research process from conception all the way through to delivering the final product. So I spend my time writing proposals, designing research and evaluation plans, overseeing our junior staff who help us and support us as we conduct our research. I conduct analyses, do a lot of partnering with our funders and stakeholder groups to bring these plans to life and interpret the findings. Sometimes we collect data, sometimes we analyze secondary data, and finally I help lead report writing. Typically a lot of our outputs are things like reports for the federal government or for our funder, and we do less so academic type writing. And I'd say that even though I'm saying I do research 100% of the time, it's a different sort of workflow than the workflow that I had in an academic setting. So in an academic setting, you're typically funded on grants, where the principal investigator and the researchers on the project really are free to operate on their own timeline. They're free to potentially change the questions. They really own the research. A lot of the work that we do at Child Trends, and this is similar for many other firms out there, is work done on contracts. Contracts have project officers, typically at state or federal agencies, and sometimes foundations, who oversee the work, and they're the ultimate decision makers. So we bring our research and evaluation skills and knowledge to them. They contract with us because we have that knowledge and that skill set. But ultimately, they decide the timeline, they decide the research questions, they decide what goes in the final report. So that means that I am often working on pretty tight timelines. We work on anywhere from 6 to 10 projects at a time. So all of my days are really busy. I'm jumping from project to project. I'm in several meetings. And in my role with having a PhD, I'm leading many of these projects. And sometimes I'm just leading one part of it, like being the quantitative methodologist on the project, or potentially just leading the design of an evaluation plan. What advice do I have about weighing the options? Oh, well, my main advice is for you to think, what do you want to do every day? And what is it about where you are now that you really like? Find what it is that you really like about your current position or other positions that you've had in the past, and try to replicate that. So I'll tell you the things that I liked. I liked doing evaluations. I liked working with stakeholders like community partners and program administrators. I liked doing work that had really clear policy implications, and that's what I wanted to keep doing. And then there were things about the work environment that I liked. I really enjoy being highly collaborative. And you're going to find that collaboration is the key to success at most firms, and especially at Child Trends. Really, we never do anything alone. I really wanted to work with people who shared the same values that I do, and at Child Trends we have a mission statement to improve the well-being for children, youth, and families, and that really spoke to me. And in my life, I really enjoy work-life balance. There are many goals that I have for myself that are personal goals. So I needed to find a job where I could do the work that I wanted to do every day, an environment that I wanted to do it in, and one that respected and also really cultivated a lot of those personal goals. There's other factors you can consider, like geography. I work from my home in Arizona, hence the cactus mural and this fan behind me. It's the summer. But there's going to be lots of things for you that are really going to matter. Where should students and new professionals look for alt-ac or industry jobs. So get yourself onto the relevant listservs for the different societies that you're a part of. That's how you're going to see a lot of these. So I was on APA Division 37, which I believe is developmental psych, looking at the SRCD postings, looking at the postings for the Society for Research, Society for Prevention Research, looking at NCFR. Once I knew that I really wanted to be a research scientist at a research organization like Child Trends, I just started looking on Indeed. So never discount the sort of normal job placement sites. It was actually really fun. Once I learned that the job title I really wanted to have was research scientist, I just went on Indeed and started typing in research scientist child development to see what would come up. So I encourage you to take a look at that if that's the path that you're looking to go. What makes you marketable and what skills are really highly valued? I'd say the principal skill that's really highly valued at a research organization like Child Trends is evaluation skills. We also do a lot of project management at Child Trends, and that expectation falls on me as a scientist to manage budget, timeline, review contracts, and have a basic understanding of contracts. So getting that experience while you can is fabulous. It's not a make or break, but it's definitely really important that you can jump in and learn those things right away. So I'd say in order to get experience conducting evaluations, working under the sort of workflow and timelines that we have, and building your project management skill base, I cannot stress enough that you should do an internship. Many research organizations, Child Trends included, offer summer internships that are paid. But if you can find really any evaluation or research firm, some of them, you might find one that's in your local area that maybe just does local work. You might find some national ones, Mathematica, MDRC, Child Trends. They all offer summer internships, which give you a chance to work on a project and see what it would be like to work there. Not only will that be insightful for you as a young professional, but it's going to help give you the skill base that you need to be competitive for these types of jobs. Otherwise, the job application process isn't all that different than the academic one. You're going to submit a cover letter, you're going to have some references, you're going to submit a writing sample, you'll be asked to go through several rounds of interviews, interviewing over the phone and potentially in person with folks at different levels. So maybe that's a little different. You'll conduct interviews even with research assistants who are bachelor's level folks, all the way up to very senior people, so they learn how you'll fit within the organization. At our organization, you do have to give a job talk. But the job talk is typically much more policy and program focused than it is focused on your sort of line of work and your niche. So that would really be my final piece of advice. If you want to move from a research program at your PhD into a job at an organization like Child Trends, really get to know the policies in your research area. So for instance, I did a lot of my research on early Head Start, quite a bit on how early Head Start impacted parenting processes. But it's actually more important now at my job that I understand a little bit more about how early Head Start works, how early Head Start might uptake some of the recommendations from my dissertation, and really how that research to policy to practice pipeline really works. So if you just take the time to get to know the actual population that you're studying, and the policies and programs that affect them, and how those programs and policies work in the real world. I hope that some of this has been helpful, and you can feel free to reach out to me. I hope they distribute my contact information, and have a great day.